asking because
made it a lot easier and gave a stronger commitment from the developers.
And do you outsource it to a software development company, or did you hire freelancers?
It was actually a company here in Denmark that we decided on, because they had a lot of different resources in-house. So they had both the data scientists that we needed for the AI and machine learning parts, but they also had UX designers and developers and project managers and whatnot. So we decided to kind of pool it together at one company. And now we've started, when after we finished the full first version of the product, we've actually and we used Upwork for that. We've identified some specialists within certain areas so that we have multiple people with the same skill sets. So we have some redundancies. If one person is unavailable, we have another that we can use instead. So we're starting to build out, you could say.
Nice.
And in terms of marketing, what are you and your co-founder in charge of, and what do you outsource?
Well, my co-founder is a former CFO and has been that for, I guess, 25 years and more. So obviously he handles the financial parts of everything. So, budgeting and accounting and stuff like that. He is perfect for that. But he is also, in his role as CFO in his previous companies, he's had the responsibility for HR and for implementing HR systems. So he has a very good understanding of what is it that is needed and what are the challenges and what are the issues out there. So he's a strong part of that. And I come from the IT side, so the development, strategy and the planning and the coordination and the execution of the development part and the technical setup of everything we use and stuff like that. That is something that I'm taking care of. And then we kind of share the sales and the marketing part of the business and do that together. So we try to use each other's strong parts as to the best of our abilities.
Yeah, so combining a skill set. But you also mentioned that you outsource marketing, and I was wondering what exactly do you outsource? And again, do you work with agency or with freelancers?
Yeah, that's a good question. We actually, and once again, that was actually because of some personal connections. So we decided on an agency. And it was an agency that actually also uses AI or machine learning in the way that they do online marketing. So they don't do the creative side as much, although they do provide input on, what is needed creatively. We need some videos with these and these kind of, words being said, or we need blog articles of this kind of a topic and stuff like that, and then we create them. So we write our own content and do all of that creative side ourselves. But they do the mechanics of the advertising on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and stuff like that. So they have the knowledge of those advertising platforms and try to optimize that as much as possible.
At what stage did you invite the agency to do these processes for you?
Oh, we quite early actually, because we wanted to test we had some ideas about creating a marketing funnel, so that we could lead generate using online marketing. So actually we wanted to test a lot even before the product was finished. So we experimented a lot there and had some good results and used that as the foundation, for our budgets and for kind of the division between how much online marketing do we need and how much direct sales resources do we need going forward. So we engaged with them pretty early on, before we were finished with the development.
Got it. Yeah, please go ahead.
What marketing channels work for you right now? So you mentioned you do a lot of paid. Anything else like channel wise, maybe content work?
I guess the channel that provides the best traffic or most traffic for us is definitely Google. So being found on the right search terms or search words and criteria is something that has been very beneficial. It's also the most expensive part, but it does provide, for us at least, it does provide the best qualified leads actually. Facebook and Instagram has not been that effective for us, but I think that is equally our own fault, based on how creative or kind of how creative are we with our advertising, right? You need to stand out a lot more on Facebook and Instagram to get people's attention, right? And then LinkedIn, we have tried a little bit there as well. It's very expensive, but you can target some pretty interesting people on LinkedIn. So that is something that we'll be experimenting even more with. But Google is really effective for us because it we grab people when they have an intent to look for exactly what it is that we provide. So when they search for something, that's a really active intent. So it's a very qualified lead we get when using Google.
Perfect. Share with us one tip how to find a great co-founder, because this is a question I quite often get from our community members.
Yeah, and I can understand why, because now my co-founder and I, we go way back. We've known each other for over 10 years. So we just never, we had kids who went to the same class, and we've never done business or anything. But just around the time when I sold my part of my previous business, he did the same in his. And we started to eat breakfast together and just discuss what the future might bring for us. And then all of a sudden we realized that we actually had some common interests and some things that we actually agreed that we could actually do something about this, in this case, the recruitment process. So it was kind of a coincidence that we ended up doing business together. But if I haven't met him, I think I would still use my network to find a co-founder, and because it's really important that you kind of know people and trust people. But otherwise, I've seen a lot of online platforms as well that kind of wants to help you identify co-founders and people who you could do business with. So maybe that would be another way to do it. But I was lucky to find one, almost next door. So that was perfect.
Cool, thanks. That's a great story. That's a great story, definitely. I was wondering, because you don't generate any revenue at the moment, but you have some decent prospects in your sales pipeline. And how do you allocate budget for marketing at the moment? Does it a fixed budget, or like what is your approach?
Well, the approach right now is that we don't spend any money on advertising because of the Corona crisis. So and actually we it was I guess it was a bit lucky for us, because we actually decided right before Corona hit us to stop advertising and create a light version of a product, because when we engage with customers, it can be a little scary for them to change the screening process, which is a process that they've always had people do. So I imagine that we feel kind of like the first people that came out and wanted to sell industrial robots to car manufacturers or someone like that. People can be a little bit skeptical, and they think, well, humans do this best. So we want to hear what you have to offer and what you're selling, but let us just be cautious a little bit. And then, you know, some people find out, well, they actually agree that they can do a lot better here. So those are the ones in our pipeline right now that they agree this could actually be a better solution than having humans screen all these applications with their human biases and time constraints and what else they have as issues. And then sorry, I lost the thread there.
No problem.
Yeah, then we you know, in order to get these customers on board, despite those reservations, we want to create a light version, you know, where we don't automate the candidate selection, but we do provide them with the analysis, so they can determine for themselves which candidates are the best. So it's not automated, but they still get the benefit of the analysis. So that's what we are doing in this period, you know, where Corona kind of hit us. So the marketing side will definitely pick up again, and it's going to be a major cost for us. We see sales and marketing being one of the most prominent costs in our budget.
Mikael, I have a question. So you're providing a product to recruiters, right? And recruiting firms, and you know, question: what does it analyze? Does it analyze the resume? Does it analyze a video interview? You know, what does the product actually do? I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, the engine that we use to analyze is dependent on text. So, you know, if you receive an application, you know, a CV or a motivated or a cover letter, sorry, a motivational letter, then we analyze the text in that. So we start off by removing everything that we don't need. So name, addresses, pictures, and stuff like that, we remove. And then we have the bulk parts of the text left. And then we analyze that. And if there's not enough text there, you know, if you have sent a very brief CV, then they're invited to a digital coffee meeting where they're asked some questions that they have to answer. And then that text goes into the analysis as well to provide enough accuracy in the analysis. And then we present that, you know, within personality, values, culture, and skills, so that we can create a basically, you know, a total profile, you know, a 360 degree profile of each candidate. And we do that automatically. So let's say if we're integrated to your HR system, then you just receive the applications as you have always done, but we receive a copy and analyze that. And then we put the result into the candidate profile within your HR system. And then you can, in your candidate list, you have another column with the score. So you can simply just rank them based on that score. And you can press the score and see the candidate profile to see why is it that the person has received this score. So it becomes really easy to see which of the candidates that have applied are the ones that actually fit the job the best, based on personality, of course, but also values, culture, and skills.